let's get to this drama real quick. Okay. Tamar Braxton finally came to the front and she let us know that Kandi and Todd was the ones that was trying to fight her. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, play that audio for y'all. Let y'all know what this lady had said about Miss Kandi and her husband Todd, which I actually am having a hard time believing because I just don't see Todd being that type of man to do that. But that's just what Tamar said. So let's get to it.
All started from a YouTube that Kandi put out about whatever the issues they had with Carlos King, and I was asked about it. Now I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not like these other reality people. Like I'm a real bona fide 5-time Emmy nominated journalist. Difference. So for me, I am not comfortable publicly saying or calling someone else a liar without knowing the legitimate facts. That's where I'm standing with that. I wasn't on no, you're not my friend. I don't want to side with you. It wasn't nothing to being messy, but my responsibility for my job and my integrity just lied in that. Or else I just would have said, oh, she lied. Really what I did say is I wanted to hear both sides of the story. Something in the milk ain't clean. Just trying to deflect from just outright calling somebody a liar. Because number one, I don't know. Number two, I don't care. Number three, has nothing to do with me. Okay?
Well, then why did you speak on it?
Cool. That happened. I put up a clip promoting the show from my point of view in my story, not addressing anybody, not taking sides on nothing, because I really don't care. It really doesn't have anything else to do with me. Okay? So weeks go by, 4 or 5 weeks go by, and we all have a concert together. And I'm leaving my dressing room to go to my dancer's dressing room to bring them their new clothes. And I see Kandi in the hallway. And I'm like, hey, boo. And I give her a hug, whatever. And she just look at me and she's like, I ain't fucking with you. And I'm like, what? I'm thinking she's kidding. Like, I'm for real thinking she's kidding. And she's like, I ain't fucking with you. I'm like, what happened? She like, oh, well, you said that shit you said about Carlos King was foul. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I honestly, truly forgot about it. Right? And I'm like, listen, I didn't mean no harm. I wasn't trying to, go against you or nothing like that. It's, what I just explained to y'all. Like, I just feel like my responsibility is a little bit different. I ain't trying to call nobody publicly a liar when I don't know the whole story. I'm not comfortable with it. And she was like, nah. You said. And I'm like, sis, listen, if I offended you, I am so sorry. Like, I wasn't coming from that. I thought, man, you made up at Big Brother. I wasn't coming for you. It's nothing like that. I really, truly, humbly apologize. And plus, I sent her a DM and I said, I sent you a DM when your fans was coming to my page. This was a while ago, and I was just trying to let you know that, I wasn't trying to be, malicious or nothing like that. Nah. But you said, and you did, and then you doubled down and put it in your story. I said, listen, Kandi, I'm not trying to go there with you. We in the middle of this hallway. And now by this time, people swarming around. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we ladies, we shouldn't be doing this. We can go in my dressing room. Yeah, before I take it to the next level. Now, everybody know, I ain't really here for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool and I'm safe, but I do know how to whip ass. And I don't do that because I don't condone violence at all, right? And I'm like, well, what's the name of the level you want to take it to? Like, what you want to fight? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. You said he did steal from us. Right? And I'm like, she is really serious right now. I'm like, all right, like, don't do that. First of all, I'm from Baltimore. We're not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm telling her again, it's my 4th time apologizing. I am so sorry if this offended you, right? I wasn't trying to be malicious towards you. Now I'm saying this again. This is in the hallway. I'm saying this again. Nah. I mean, Buck King. And I'm like, and I get to the point where I'm like, look, dog, this is not Atlanta Housewives. I'm not getting paid to sit up here and argue with you like this. I'm about to go sing everybody on this bill under the table. I can't argue with you right now. Like, I finna do all that. And then I am trying to completely de-escalate the situation. It's giving bobs and cackling and cacklings. And like, then Tadina comes up and like, he comes and get her and he says something to her and then he looks at me in my face. Y'all can believe this shit or not. Nigga look at me in my face and go, you know what it is. Oh, what? Now this is a dude. I don't care. Listen, y'all don't see me grow up on the Braxtons. Y'all don't see me go at it with my sisters. Y'all don't see me, kind of like sporadically go at it with Lonnie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the truth is, in real life, I'm really a peaceful person. You know what I mean? And I like to have fun and I laugh and play jokes all the time. And so the thing is with me is that me and Kandi or me and another female can argue all day long. But when it comes to dudes in another woman's face to physically threaten them and harm them, that's when the line is drawn. That's when it's like, oh, it's not about her perception on TV. It's not about, where we have known her to be on her reality life years ago. Because remember, I ain't been on reality TV for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's okay. I get it. But it's no reason for a man to ever step to a woman. Period. And the fact is, that is what happened. And the other fact is, I wasn't trying to bring nothing up, but, now that I'm on, Peacock and Bravo, I went to Andy's show, he's a good friend of mine. We cool. You know what I mean? He asked me about it because one of the fans asked me about it. And I wasn't trying to bring it up. And I wasn't trying to bring no drama my way because I am not on that. So it's like, I answered the question. I tried to deflect from it. And here we are. But what I'm not going to stand for is people saying, what did I do for a man to ever step to me?
All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Storm Disciple. Love Tamar's voice, but she is aggy as fuck and overhypes things. Do I believe her and Kandi got into it? Absolutely, but not to the level Tamar is saying. Her behavior makes me can't stand her. Sorry. Thank you for the super chat. I do want to play what Kandi said in response to this real quick before we go any further. So let me put that back up on the screen real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me add that back up and then
I was asked about it. Now,
migrate over.
Everybody's wanting to know about the beef. The only thing I'll say right now is, simply that's not true. My husband never said nothing to her. He did not threaten her or none of that. So that's why I was like, I don't even want to address that on Amazon Live. She and I did have words, but he did. So that's why I was like, yeah. Some people like to twist things a little bit, but we can talk about it later on a different platform or not.
All right, so y'all heard what Miss Kandi said. All right, Tamar came out definitely based on accusations about Kandi and her husband confronting her. Kandi came back, debunked that. Okay, Tamar came back, posted something giving us tea that her man JR had to check Todd, and we saw that in a photo. Then we see Jason Lee go over onto the Breakfast Club and allege that Miss Kandi Burruss is a bully. Then we see where Kandi has said some stuff about being the headliner to where Lily had to hop in and say some things and address that. Then we see Akbar, Kandi's cousin, come out and come at Tamar and Lily and coming at Lily for no reason. So, girl, it's just a whole lot. What do you guys think about this mess?
It's just that a whole bunch of mess. Go ahead, niece.
Nah, that's why I said same. Low-key, I was laughing when Tamar was telling the story because I envisioned it all in my head, and I do believe that it happened in that way, but I don't think that a man stepped to her the way that she's acting. I think what she's doing is flopping. Like, you know, when there's somebody foul on the basketball court and they just flop all out, like, girl, you was getting into it with Kandi. A man came to you and chimed in and might have said one thing, like, hey, you know what it is. And I can imagine somebody saying, you know what it is, because you sitting there playing dumb. How you gonna speak on some shit that didn't have nothing to do with you? What Kandi said about Carlos had nothing to do with you. You barely knew this man to try to defend him. And then when you see Kandi talking about, oh, I forgot about it. Girl, you know what it is. And if that's what that man said to you, then that's what he said. So I call this a flop. But I definitely could see Kandi saying, I am not fucking with you. Like, nope, don't even speak to me. Because that's usually how she check people. You can't say with the fake shit.
I'm glad that she did do that because I feel like we've seen Kandi help people time and time again that, you know, basically shit on her at some point. Like we've seen it happen with Tamar because they have gotten into it before, even though, you know, when it came to the dungeon tour and all of that, Kandi reached out. You know what I'm saying? Like Kandi, I feel like was always trying to like help people in certain ways. And then they come and kind of stab her in the back or, you know, play her out in front of people, just messy. So like I feel like at this point they've been back and forth so many times that Kandi probably had it up to here. And especially because they said that she was already stressed out because of what was going on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like they trying her over there. Then she, you know, backstage and Tamar trying her. But in my mind, I'm gonna tell y'all, it absolutely was giving. Y'all remember when Nene rolled up on Kandi on that first season that she was on? That was season 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Kandi was like, all right, you better get out my face before I blow up on your ass. Like
bring it on down.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to bring it on down.
Right. Exactly. That's the vibe that I got from whatever their interaction was. Like I really don't believe that Tamar was really like apologizing profusely the way she says. I feel like you might have been apologizing, but I also feel like nobody has to forgive you if they don't want to, especially if they feel like you continue to play in their face no matter how many times, you know, y'all have these, oh, I'm just, you know, we cool, you know, they keep doing this over and over again. So I feel like Kandi had a right to be like, nah, bitch, I don't care that you apologize and I still don't want to fuck with you. Get out of my face. So for me, I'm like, why you didn't get out of her face then? If you saw that your apologies weren't being received, why would you not just be like, you know what? All right, Kandi, fuck you too, and walk away? You know what I'm saying? Like, why keep going? And then Todd has to come and get her. And then I'm going to keep pointing out the way she stops after she says Todd comes to get her. Because I feel like when she stopped, it was her trying to either think of how to explain it. Yeah, like omitting something, but it was her trying to figure out how to not tell everybody all of what happened in that moment. But I said from the beginning, I absolutely believe that Kandi went off on her ass. I just don't feel like
it was for
no reason. I also don't feel like Todd was threatening you. Just because I feel like if Todd was gonna threaten somebody, he would have threatened Marlo. Shit. Okay.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. He didn't even turn up on her ass.
And she deserved it because she was like fully sitting at that table coming at that man. And it was like he had all of the information in his mind to come back with some of the most like calm, clear reads. That was like the best part of that season when he read her down at that table at the end and barely even raised his voice.
I think he did the same thing to Phaedra.
Oh,
and then Phaedra owe some money to him or something like that. I don't think he really went off on Phaedra. I feel like I don't know. Todd kind of makes me think
the donkey booty tag.
I don't know if it was that or not. I don't know. He had to go to her. I think so. I think you're right because he had to go to her office or something. She owed him money. He makes me think a little bit of Chris Bassett, just a little bit, where they don't really want to like, you know, come at you. Like they don't like. I don't think either one of them are the type of men to like disrespect a woman at all. And I feel like they would be a bit delicate with their approach. Like even when they mad, I can see them fighting themselves from getting as angry as they can get. Yeah. So that's what's making it hard for me to kind of believe that Todd really, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? He probably said that, but not in that type of way. You know what it is.
Not the way she made
grabbing his wife. Like, You know what it is,
Right.
Tamar. Like you know, like he probably was just saying that as he was grabbing his wife, moving on, like not to threaten her. Like you
Yes.
know why she's mad. Why you acting like you surprised now?
Right. Like quit
So
playing
Oh
dumb.
no, we believe he said
yeah,
it. We just don't believe it happened the way Tamar is saying it happened. That's the thing. And I feel like people
that's what
keep
I'm
getting
saying.
confused. Like, no, it's not like we're saying the whole thing didn't happen. Nobody's saying she's lying about the confrontation happening. We're saying she's lying about how it happened and what was the actual intent behind words spoken. Like when she first came out, she didn't explain any of this. She just straight up said a housewife, a peach, and a man came at me.
Yeah,
And then she said Kandi and Todd tried to fight me. Like, that's not
Yep.
the same thing as what she explained in the car. So already you putting 20 on 10. It reminded me of
Like,
Gizelle. You didn't explain anything to us that says somebody did something to you, but you explained it to everybody like somebody did something to you.
right. And it was
mm-mm.
nothing. Not the same.
Yeah,
So
not
yeah.
that deep. Well, anything else, guys?
No.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up the show. We thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we will not be here next week, but we will be here the following week over on DC Dixon's channel. Make sure you're following all of us on all social media platforms. Feel free to follow the Ooh Ladies First on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, email us if you have any questions or anything.
Oh,
We thank you guys so much for
wait,
joining us. What's the
wait,
ooh for?
wait, wait.
Backtrack, moonwalk.
Backtrack. Y'all do all this shit that she said. But before we go, I low key forgot about how I feel like Tamar like like she started that shit with SWV and Escape all over again. I feel like it had died down. And then when she posted that picture and in the shade room and all of them picked up that old ass picture of SWV and Tamar, and then that made all of them fans go at SWV. And that's why Lily and them was online last night all upset. So I blame her for that shit too. They may not think she was being messy, because her song is a sample of theirs, but I just felt like it was too strategic in timing. It absolutely gave you the reason. You the reason that SWV was getting low key bullied online last night.
I think all of this was strategic. All of it from the moment her show dropped to them dropping the tea about who all got engaged to her
Oh yeah.
going over to watch what
Oh
happens
wow.
live.
We'll
I
tell
feel
you
like
about who
she
got
was.
engaged too.
Yep. I feel like they were privy to. She was privy to some of the questions that were going to be asked. I feel like her going to Twitter, then going over to IG Live and sharing her story was all strategic to promote her show, and therefore also to promote her track, because I feel like she knew about SWV and Xscape show dropping on top of her show dropping, which is the perfect timing to drop her track. And then the
Mm-hmm.
whole drama and beef with Kandi only made it better because she sampled a song by them that was going to come out. So what better way to add more sauce on it? So I just feel like all of this shit was kind of like strategic, and
And
you know,
another thing, Andy Cohen is not claiming y'all. Why the fuck do y'all keep hopping on public spaces and claiming Andy Cohen as a friend and y'all are connected through the network?
That's
Peacock is owned
why
by the
oh
same.
wow.
Like
that,
why did Tamar say we're friends?
cause she a
Y'all
clout
not
chaser.
friends.
Cause she a clout chaser. That's why. As talented as she is, she's still a fucking clout chaser. Cause that's exactly what that felt like. Like, oh, you friends? I'm really good friends with him. Like people that act like they're closer with somebody than they really are, so that they can feel important. That's what it's giving.
Yes. Let's give it Gizelle. Oh, I can have your kid for you if you want me to. Y'all are not friends.
Oh,
It's
yes, it
work.
is. Why is she giving so much Gizelle, y'all? Oh,
Hmm.
that's funny. It is giving pick me, pick me.
Hmm.
Yikes.
I mean, when
Hate
you
to
look at
see it.
that relationship she had with that ex, I mean, I'm gonna leave it alone. Oh, and another thing. So the JR situation. So the picture that she posted with JR checking Todd, and
Hmm.
then JR posted a response saying that he had a conversation with Todd and Todd was apologetic. Then I believe that post got erased or whatever. And then she was like, at least my man is a lawyer and got his own money. And that was the next day. I was like, so she gonna keep going at Todd. I was like, oh Lord. You ain't even been with that Caucasian man that long for you to be using
Mm.
him
Nah.
to,
And what's lawyer money if you got to split it 5 ways between all the kids?
Because you do have 5 children by 4 different baby mamas, and one of them was online saying that Tamar full of shit, talking about, my kids is her kids and all of that. Girl, you ain't got no kids with him. Child, listen. But yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about that part. And I had to bring that up. And that picture was mad strategic as well. The picture that she took of JR with his arm on Ty's arm, because honestly, that looked like anytime it's noisy and somebody trying to, dap somebody off. You know what I'm saying? You see 2 dudes like, hey, what's up, dude? Let me holler at you right quick. You've seen that before. So I feel like when she took that picture like that, that was also very strategic of her. I see what you're doing. Say more. I see what you're doing.
Huh.
Give her a show, Mona.
Anything else on the Tamar Kandi drama of it all?
Besides that, I think now we done. Now I think we done.